The topic for the present video is post-authorization changes and the type of variations in the EU region. If you are working onto a product for Europe region, then to understand and learn regarding the post-authorization changes and the variations. For US market, these changes are called as SUPAC changes. SUPAC means scale up and post approval changes. And for Europe market, these changes are called as variations. So regulated changes for marketing authorizations as per the variation regulations for the Europe region is provided. Post authorization changes in the Europe region, these are governed by the variation regulation, and the aim of this regulation is to ensure continuous product safety, quality and efficacy. Variations classified by impact level on the product. So these variations can impact the quality, safety and efficacy of the formulation. So the categories are given or made based on the impact levels. Categories are type 1A, type 1B, type 2, extension applications and urgent safety restrictions. Type 1A variations are those variations which are done and then informed to the authorities. So these are do and tell type of variations. These are minor variations. Low risk changes are made which are minor in nature and have no significant impact on the quality, safety and efficacy of the product. These can be implemented immediately and notified within the 12 months. Subtypes of type 1A variations are type 1A. Type 1A IN, that is immediate notification. The examples of these changes are manufacturer name change, that is same site, minor SMPC or PIL editorial updates, supplier change for the excipients with no change in the specification and site. Type 1B variations are tail and wait. We need to inform to the regulatory authority and wait till their confirmation. These are also minor changes but with possible impact. These are not classified as type 1A or 2. This requires 30-day review before implementation. So 30-day waiting period will be there. That's why these are called as tail and wait. Examples are change in the test site for the API or product, non-significant process changes, change in bulk product storage with no shelf life impact. Type 2 variations, these are major. Significant impact onto the quality, safety or efficacy is there. That's why these are called as major changes. These requires comprehensive assessment and approval of the authority. These cannot be implemented before the approval. The examples of type 2 variations or major variations, you can say these are new indication or therapeutic use, major manufacturing process change, that is change in the synthetic route, change in the manufacturing process, change in the API manufacturer site or both. Then coming to the extension applications or line extension, these are previously known as type 3. So substantial considered a new marketing authorization still linked to original marketing authorization. Examples are new strength, form or route of administration, different salt or ester of API, fixed dose combination of the existing actives. For the US, these extension applications are called as 505B2 type of applications. It can be understood from the examples for the extension applications. Urgent safety restrictions, interim changes due to new safety information implemented rapidly to protect the public health, and these are required to be followed by a formal variation application The examples of these urgent safety restrictions are restriction in indication, additional warnings, temporary suspension of a badge for use. Once again, this is a comparative and different similarities, differences, and comparative evaluation of type 1A, type 1B, type 2 extension and restriction variation types. Type 1A is minimal and no impact. Examples are manufacturer name change, excipient supplier change, and prior approval is not required, but it is required to be notified within 12 months. Type 2B impact level is moderate. Examples are test site change and change in the storage conditions, and prior approval is needed, and 30-day review period will be there. Variation type 2 are having impact level of significant level. Example are like new indication, API process or site change, and prior approval is needed. So here full approval is required for type 2 changes. Extension variations have the very significant impact level. Examples are new form, strength or route. Prior approval is required and new marketing authorization application is done. Urgent restriction variation types have the critical or safety impact level. The examples are temporary use restriction for the use, or it is for the temporary use suspension. Prior approval is required with the immediate type of variation is required to be informed to the authority for urgent restriction type of variations. This is the information regarding post authorization changes to the product and type of the variation in the Europe. I request you to go through the videos on SUPAC level changes so that you can understand these terminologies and the topics in depth. Thank you for watching.